Hi, I'm Luke Searveld. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Gaffer. Well, here it is, March 15th. Yesterday was Pi Day, 3.14. Yeah, it's like a dad joke that tastes better. But today is March 15th. And this past week has been pretty momentous. And when I think about where we are right now, sort of in the middle of a pandemic, I can't help but think back how life has changed quite drastically from just a few weeks ago. Now, months ago, we were dealing with, well, here in California, we were dealing with fires, and Australia has dealt with, a lot of fire all summer long. And, other parts of the world, obviously, we live in a bit of a bubble here, but other parts of the world, famine, wars, other extreme weather events, like flooding and extreme cold, sleet, all those kinds of things that affect us as film workers, freelancers. All those things affect us just like they affect everybody else, but since we're sort of temporary workers, that affects us differently. And because life is kind of uncertain just in terms of our regular work, when these kind of calamities affect us, we're that much more sort of vulnerable in a sense. Well, now, since here in California, the last few months, we've been dealing with AB 5, so it's Assembly Bill 5, and how that changes the way the state looks at what we do. And, originally the bill was sort of to corral, the Ubers and the Lyfts of the world. Well, it's affecting all of us sort of temporary workers. And yeah, that's a whole nother topic, but it's definitely something that we've been dealing with. And now, we have this wonderful opportunity to experience this crazy ass sort of movie thriller horror film that we're in right now with, dealing with a crazy virus. And just thinking a few weeks ago, it was 3 weeks ago, we had a nice event at Felix Lighting, and we heard from two speakers from both Felix and Keenaful Lighting, and we had a wonderful time. There were, 50 DPs and gaffers, all sort of, together. We were sharing pie, apple, pear, blackberry. We were sharing, stories, catching up. We were looking at equipment. We were learning about color science, in terms of hard light and soft light, and just the difficulties of not only manufacturing it, but dealing with it on the set. And we took a group photo. We're all close together. And then a week later, Alan Steinheimer and I went to Burbank. We were at the DCS Cinema Lighting Expo, and there, people were kind of joking about, bumping and not shaking hands. But we were at the Grip 80 hall, and there's lots of different sort of vendors really close together, and so you can't help but touch people as you're trying to get to from one place to another. And then I remember being on the plane, and the woman sitting, 2 seats over was cleaning off her armrests and her seat and everything with wipes. And she was just like, oh yeah, I would do this anyway. And I said, well, that's interesting. Now you're normal, because it was already sort of a thing. And this was 2 weeks ago. Then this past week, I was on a job, and I had the whole week booked. And I was on a job for a large corporation, and it was a 3-day job. It was the first day. And by the end of the day, the word came down from the CEO, we're shutting down the campus. And so we wrapped everything out. We still got paid for our 3 days, but it was kind of like, we're making a decision, we're done. And then the other 2 days ahead this week, or this past week, they went away as well. It was going to be an all hands meeting. It's like, yeah, no, we're not doing large audiences, and if we do anything, we'll do it in a smaller venue, and we don't need you. And then like bang, 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 NBA decides we're not doing anything anymore. NHL, MLB, and concerts, and NAB, and F8, for Facebook, and just everything stops. Schools start closing, and it's just like, okay, this is going to be our new normal for a bit, and we're just going to take a break because we need to distance ourselves, socially, and get home and stay put. Makes total sense, because we need to have a sort of a start from zero, figure out who's contaminated, get them help, and then the rest of you, can get back to normal. But normal is going to be different, I think, from now on. Anyway, I had one more job that hadn't gone away yet, because all sort of bunch of future jobs, they all sort of vanished. Had one more job next week. It's a 2-day job. It's going to be a pre-light, and then we're going to have a shoot day. And I was looking forward to it. We had some interesting things we were going to be doing. It was going to be with models, 4 models, and they were going to sort of be interviewed about the product they were using, and then they were going to apply it. On the pre-light, we were going to be able to compare the Hudson Spyder with an S60 through an Octa, and just, depending on what we wanted for our look, which one was going to work better for that sort of, beauty light. We had a pink seamless, but it wasn't quite the right Pantone that the client wanted, so we were going to, compare that with taking the gray seamless and trying, to light that with color. And so there are a bunch of things that I was really looking forward to. And so as everything was stopping and closing down, and events canceling, the production was very thoughtful and said, look, we just want to make sure, first, that your health is good, that, we're taking precautions, and want you to feel good about coming on this job, because there's a lot of things going on, and are you okay with that? How's your health? Have you been out of country? That kind of thing. And so at the time, it was like, yeah, there's a lot going on, but I'm still on board. And this was, almost a week ago. And so, we kind of continued on. But as this week came to a close, and just, every day something new, big, that was changing or stopping or whatever it was. And then, last night we had our regular monthly book club. We had it virtually, through Zoom. And then I was helping put together sort of a podcast for the church we belong to. And it's like, that was all going to be virtual. But here I still had one more job, and I was thinking, like, that's going to be the last job for a long time. So yeah, I'll just stick with it. But then, and I have to give a lot of credit to my wife, because she's like my better conscience. And she's just like, I don't feel good about you doing that. Is that an essential thing? And so I wrote a letter early this morning, and I said, I know this is late in the game and precautions are being taken, but with all that is going on with work distancing, gathering restrictions, and event cancellations, where only essential activities are recommended to flatten the potential wave that's coming, I'm questioning my involvement in this job. I know I was asked earlier if I was comfortable, but things keep changing daily. As much as I want to continue a can-do attitude, I'm rethinking the necessity of this job at this time. am I crazy? Now, before I go any further, just want to say, I am not the hero of this story. I sent it off to a producer and got almost an immediate response. And the response was, you are not crazy. And you know what? How would you feel about us postponing this for at least a month? And they gave a date, and I'm like, absolutely. And I'm thinking, now, I don't know if me writing that email was moot because things were already in play, or if that was just sort of the release valve to, allow a decision to be finalized. But I just think like, yes, way to go. That producer is probably juggling all kinds of things already, and they made a decision. And I think that's a wonderful thing. I mean, here we are, unprecedented what's going on. We don't know what the hell we're doing, but this shit is real. And, people have difficulty understanding what exponential means. It's like, it looks like nothing, and then all of a sudden it's way off the charts crazy. And that's the potential here. If it doesn't happen, fine. But let's do the right thing now. And that's what that producer did. And I think that's wonderful. And I just wanted to sort of highlight that, yeah, here we are, vulnerable people, in vulnerable types of jobs, but now's the time to do the right thing and pull back, let this thing blow over, and it won't. It's going to be a shitstorm, but let's take that impact and do what we can to do the right thing, and let the health professionals and the first responders, not have to worry about us. So, yeah. Well, anyway, I just wanted to relay that story and, just be real, because we kind of have this reality to show us how connected we are. We need each other. And to that end, how are you doing? How are you getting through this? Let me know. Also, I'm only doing taxes and doing the vlog. So I can go back and finally pull out a lot of that footage that I've been meaning to cut and, put stuff out there. And then also, if you've got BTS that you want to play with and think it could be helpful to others, send it my way and maybe we'll make an episode out of it. This is an opportunity to share. So let's do it. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. Do you like pie?
Yes.
Not everybody likes pie.
What?
No, truly. Yeah. So this is
Thank you, Luke.
no.
Thanks for taking the time to make those. Muchas gracias.
Thank you for thanking me.
Very good.
We really went down to the expo to see this R15 from Cineo. It's a liquid-cooled light, and it's quite ingenious. Really looking forward to seeing how it compares to lights in real-world side-by-side shootouts. Mole is showing off their new space light. This is the 2K version, much more compact than their previous one. We met some fans and forgot to practice social distancing. And even Lowell Light had a fun, color tunable light to show.